Bobbie Vale, a friend, and their daughters were enjoying the ride to a church event. Then, just as her friend's daughter stood to fix her mother's hair, unconscious for a moment, Bobbie woke to find everyone was okay with minor injuries. But as she crawled out of the totaled van, she knew something was wrong.
Felt really disoriented and really, really odd. My muscles, my back, and my neck, nothing seemed to be really connecting right.
A doctor's visit revealed Bobbie had no broken bones, but the muscles, tendons, and ligaments on the right side of her back had torn and would need time to heal. But as the months and then years passed, she was still in pain.
I still had discomfort in my lower back. I love to do crafts, and it's just becoming more and more difficult because sitting is becoming more and more difficult.
Over the next 20 years, Bobbie depended on pain meds, chiropractors, and massage therapy to get through the week, but the relief was only temporary. She also had several MRIs, but the results always came back inconclusive.
It's very disheartening to go to these doctors and them not be able to see what the problem is.
Then in 2007, she heard something pop in her back.
Thought, oh, that was weird. Well, like the next day, I couldn't use my leg. It was just like dragging. Things started progressing rapidly from that point.
More doctor visits and still no answers. Over the next several years, Bobbie lost mobility and feeling in her legs and needed steroid injections to manage the pain in her lower back. Eventually, simple trips to the grocery store became unbearable, and by 2011, Bobbie was housebound and on disability.
And little by little, all the things that I loved were just really being taken away. Time with my family, time with my granddaughter. I would have these thoughts that would cross my mind. You're just going to be like this forever.
Bobbie spent the next 5 years as a shut-in, leaving only for doctor's visits and a prayer group she began attending. She also read healing scriptures and continued asking God for healing.
Well, I needed a miracle, really. I'd had so many experiences with God's healing power that I knew He knew where I was and what I was going through. I really was believing that He would heal me.
In March 2016, Bobbie went back to her doctor, who decided to take x-rays one more time, but with different imaging angles. Finally, answers.
I had 3 broken vertebrae, and the bones in the back of my vertebrae were moving around, and that's what was causing me to not really be able to use my legs. He said if it were a minor surgery, he said I could do it and I might try to see if you'd be better, but he said this isn't going to be a minor surgery.
She soon found out what that meant. Meeting with a spine specialist, Bobbie learned she needed several discs replaced, a rod installed in her spine, and a cage attached to the front of her spine.
I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be a huge surgery. So I was totally petrified by this point.
Despite her fears, Bobbie scheduled the surgery. At her next prayer group meeting, she shared what the doctor had said. The leader spoke up at once.
She said, so we're going to anoint you with oil, and we're all going to pray for you. And I said, okay. I agreed with them. I knew we had acted on what God had told us to do in His Word, and I knew that the results were up to Him.
A few days later, Bobbie noticed the feeling and mobility in her legs had started to return, but there was no pain.
Wow, my knees aren't hurting, my legs not hurting. And I thought, I'm going to see if I can move my toes. I start moving my foot and it moves back and forth, which I couldn't do before. So I called one of the ladies from the recovery group. I said, Jean, I think the Lord has healed me. And she said, Bobbie, I know the Lord has healed you.
Bobbie scheduled a follow-up appointment that left her primary care doctor stunned.
Starts to the range of motion test, and I'm doing all kinds of stuff I haven't been able to do in years. And she said, "Bobbie, did you already have your surgery?" I said, "No, the Lord healed me."
Today, Bobbie is enjoying an active life in retirement and has remained pain-free ever since her healing.
No surgery for me. I can enjoy life. I can do things I haven't been able to do. I'm definitely pain-free. And that's only because God answered prayer.